you were raised by both your parents?
Yeah.
And who were you closest to?
Definitely mom. I think most boys are closer to mom.
Right. And so, and why not your father?
He was working all the time, extremely masculine.
Oh, I see. And so, have you forgiven your mother for the mistakes she made with you? Like,
Yeah, because a lot of it was, there's a psychic kind of nonverbal agreement a son has with a mother where she says in the ether, in the mental plane, the air, she says, son, never leave out in the world and become a man. Stay a boy and I'll just protect you.
Yeah.
And the son says, mom, don't leave me and I'll never go out and be a real man. And really, like, I was in for a rude awakening when I joined the real world, when I found out that $10 an hour doesn't cut it. I'm homeless, sleeping on couches, doing drugs, and nothing. I have 3 jobs and I can't. I'm being dead. Really, I wish at 14, I adopted that 1950s position of getting a job at 14 and being a man at 14,
Absolutely.
15, 16. And I hate saying this because I want them to finish school or whatever. I wish I quit high school and just went to work.
Yeah.
I know so many friends who
Absolutely,
just
man.
quit high school. They saved up for a down payment on a house. Man, I wish I did that and learned a trade. And
so have you forgiven your mother for imposing her will on you like that?
yeah, for sure. But I'd never say 100% because, like, I'm sure it'll come up. Like, I'm sure I'll argue with my mom next month.
Right.
But for the
why
big
have
stuff,
you forgiven her so that God can take away her identity from you and give you back yourself? Why have you totally forgiven her?
I can't totally forgive her right now because she sees me fight people on the streets, and then I went away from it, made money, and now she's seeing, now that I'm, the cocaine crusader online, I'm fighting guys on the street, and I will die for Christ. I'll say whatever I want on the internet. Right. She hates that. She wants me to be safe and stuff like that. So we argue about that stuff a lot, where she goes, your online antics are gonna get you killed. And I can really just forgive her and keep doing it, but I respect her opinion so much that if I pick up that phone call, she really gets to me,
When you were growing up and you would ask your father to help you deal with your mother, to tell her to back off, did he help you do it?
Yeah, I remember a quiet car ride where my dad said, son, never take a woman too seriously because they're dominated by impulses of anxiety. Yeah. And that's because they always think something's gonna come kill their kids.
Right.
And that stuck with me because I'm like, my dad is so attractive and he's stoic. He's like, he's not like me, he doesn't talk. He's just masculine.
Right.
And I want to be just like my dad. So I never took women seriously again. And I noticed in workplaces, women do start panicking for no reason. I love my mom and aunts to death, but they can't really watch a movie with us without fluffing a pillow, bringing snacks and food. They always want to they're always worrying about something, the tea or like the kettle. So I realized oh wow, the masculine frame is dismiss women and get the fucking job done.
So why didn't your father teach you to work and be like him working while growing up? Because my grandfather and my father told me about work. My grandfather taught me. But why didn't your father do that for you?
So my father, definitely for my twin brother and my older brother, they're both master's degree geniuses, with women and kids. And, they did the life correct. Me, I was always a troublemaker. And I was always getting in trouble because I was failing high school. I had no interest in anything I was reading. Yeah. The only classes I ever got an A in was physical education and poetry. Not English, just the poetry semester. Yeah. I don't know why, which helped me out with becoming who I am as a leader, the poetic stuff. But failing school made me stray from my dad for the longest time. And, it took me I think 21 years to realize my dad is my best friend. That Kanye line is so true. At 21, everything my dad said, I just absorbed in 1 week. And I went and I said, hey, you were right about everything. And he said, don't tell me. As in, everyone comes to this point. My brothers came to it at 17. I was very late. So 100% I was the problem. And yeah, because I felt, failing class, I felt like a fucking loser. And now I realize that everyone who got straight A's, they're broke, and I pulled up in a Ferrari today, So I don't need that school stuff.
And you're right that you can make it in life without having all those degrees and things like that. But what I don't understand is that your father was a strong guy working, and apparently some of your brother was close to him. Why did he just leave you with your mother rather than pulling you
Well,
away
he
from
didn't.
her?
He left me with my twin brother. That's who really raised me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so I'm like a jock, I'm like a caveman, I'm crazy. But why I win every debate online is because my twin brother, he's a therapist, right? And not those gay liberal therapists. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
He changed my life. He's the one who taught me to debate and stuff like that. He said you can't go around the world being an idiot, you know? Because without my twin brother, I'm just a black guy with a gun selling drugs, riding around in a fucking Pontiac or whatever.
Right.
So he kind of changed me, but who is most like my father is my twin brother. They're identical, interests, hobbies, everything.
Are you identical twins?
No, fraternal actually.
Oh, I see. And so what was it like for you growing up seeing that your twin brother is close to your father, but you're not?
For me, it was like I'm close to my dad for everything.
I mean, close to your father, but you're not.
I'm close to my dad for everything except the education stuff. You know, he didn't like that I was like ditching school. I kept skipping and stuff like that.
Right.
But eventually, grade 12, I had only like 4 courses really, but I got straight A's in all 4. You know, I eventually fixed it. I overcame that. And really, that was like very late for the maturing phase, but I think I was very scarred because we're all three of us, if you meet us, maybe you can tell with me, but we're from a war zone. So we're all traumatized war children, right? We saw a lot of death and hiding in basements and running around and stuff like that. And I think since I'm the youngest, that's like the gayest, right? The youngest is the most flamboyant, kind of like, can we say the F slur here? No, we can't. But yeah, I was that slur. And so for me, I was the last one to actually grow up because a lot of that war stuff affected me. And you can see it in my content, you know, I go to war now, you know, and I've been in like so many street fights working 5 years as a full-time bouncer. So very quiet my whole life. And then as an adult, I started blooming into the loudest on the internet. And so I can't tell you why it took so long, but I've never been more proud than when I look in the mirror. And sometimes I feel like it's a little satanic to be that proud. But my narcissism comes from the fact that, like, let's be honest, God, he outdone himself with me. Like, I am a masterpiece. And I really believe atheists, the reason they're atheists is they look in the mirror and they don't see a work of art. They're ugly as Atheists look in the mirror and go, there's no way some infinite creator made this. But I look in the mirror and I say, you outdone yourself, my
Amazing.